So if you thought that horse video is cool, wait till we show you everything that the Outer Banks has in store.
Mind will be blown.
Blown. So the Outer Banks in North Carolina may be one of the best trips we've ever been on.
Ever taken. It's amazing.
It is crazy. So we're going to kind of go over the highlights of our different trips, and then kind of give you some tips on how you can have
the best trip possible.
Yeah, let's take a look. It is incredible. So on the very first trip I ever took the Outer Banks, I saw this bad boy on the side of the road. It had to have been about 10 feet long.
That thing is massive.
Yeah,
no, thank you.
Huge. This is one of the first trip I ever took the Outer Banks. It's the house I stayed in. It was awesome. Right on the beach. It was great. The flying the kites in the Outer Banks is incredible.
It is. It's something to see. It's something cool to say that you've done. I was less than successful, but clearly other people are very good at it.
Yeah, one of the highlights of my life. There's Grace, and you can see how close it is to actual, where everyone lives and how close it is to the ocean. It is incredible to see. And then they do gliders where you can fly gliders off of there too. And I didn't do that, but
I'm not woman enough for that. That's scary.
That'd be fun. One of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life is an actual shipwreck, and this was just off the shore and at the Outer Banks. There was a hurricane recently when I had been there, and it had taken the sand away, so you could actually see the shipwreck, which was incredible. Nicholas Sparks.
So I've stayed here. Just kidding. I have not. But it is super cool just to get to see from the Nicholas Sparks book and movie. I was a big fan of both.
This is Rodantia, by the way.
And, oh, sorry. So it's just a cool place. It's a cool little town to visit.
Yeah. Nicholas Sparks. If you read the book, that's the actual house from the book.
Okay, so the horse tours is hands down the coolest thing I have ever done on any trip I have ever been on.
I've never seen the horses, and it is incredible. Just looking at these pictures are incredible.
It is just stunning, and they do say that sometimes you don't see any. I was very blessed on the day I went. I got to see them
in
front of houses all over the place.
How awesome is that?
I mean, I couldn't imagine waking up and seeing that out my front window. That's just breathtaking.
These horses are beautiful.
They are, and they're just truly, it just is one of the coolest experiences I've ever had.
And obviously when people think of the Outer Banks, most people think of the lighthouses, and they are amazing. But like all these other experiences or things you can do and see, like almost outshine how incredible the lighthouses are, and they are amazing in and of themselves.
No, they are a cool experience, but like we were just saying, like Outer Banks has so much to offer, so much more than
beautiful.
Just the lighthouse. I mean, everyone thinks of the lighthouses, but it's just a place packed full of unique and cool experiences.
Look how the beautiful settings of all these places is just amazing. This is one of my favorite things of the Outer Banks. You literally feel like you're on a deserted island. So they have these big embankments that are like 30, 40 feet high to get to the beach. And literally, it's like, I feel like, what's that movie, Castaway?
Oh, yeah.
Like you're just there by yourself. And the amount of shells there.
And they're big.
They're huge.
They're big shells, which is fun if you're a fan of that kind of stuff at the beach. And
then, of course, there's the Wright brothers, who they flew the very first plane in the Outer Banks at Kitty Hawk, and so they have these statues and memorials for them right there, which is awesome. There's a museum there you can see. There's a statue of, I think that's Wilbur. He's the one with the mustache, right?
I think so.
I think so too. And then you can see from the top there just how the expanse of where they were working at there.
It is a hike to get up to that monument.
Is. And this is cool too, as a monument of one of their third attempt at flying. It's just amazing everything there is to do in the Outer Banks.
History rich.
And then there's this house that I see, and it's literally in the ocean. I'm just waiting for a storm to just take it out. Look how close it is to the water.
Too close for comfort.
All right, so if you are planning a trip, we're going to go over a few tips
to help you have the best trip
ever. All right, tip number 1. If you are planning a trip, really need to give yourself some time.
Yes, it is such a history rich and such a cool thing, and some of the things take a good part of your day. So you'll need a good several days to really get to enjoy the whole Outer Banks.
It's not a one full day you're going to see. There is so much to see. It is truly like a Disneyland of history and just awesome things to go see in nature. So yeah, plan at least, I would say at least 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, you're gonna want the time for sure.
So you have a lot of, oh, this is tip number 2. So you have a lot of options, obviously, of places to stay. I would suggest, especially if you're planning a 3-4 day trip there, of finding a condo or a house to rent.
And they have loads of options in the homes and in the condos there, so you shouldn't have much of a problem finding a place to stay. And
the big reason is you're going to be, there's a lot to see. You're going to be busy every day. You really want like a comfortable place to come back to, so you can just kind of, recharge for the next day. So whether you use VRBO or Airbnb or whatever, there's lots of options out there, but I would suggest, renting a house or a condo. All right, so tip number 3, bring some food. So like Rodantia is out in the middle of nowhere.
And Ocracoke, you have to take the ferry to get over there. And then once you're there, you ain't got a whole lot of options.
Yeah, so
pack some food.
So depending on where you stay, so if you're in the Kill Devil Hills area of Outer Banks, that's the more populated place. So there is grocery stores and things like that. But like I said, if you're in Rodantia is a good, I want to say 20 miles or so really from anywhere. So and so just make sure you know where you're staying and what's around you. So you may want to bring some food with you, so you don't have to be running all over the place.
And a lot of the stuff, like we said, does take a good chunk of your day. So it's just handy to have snacks and things that are easy to throw into your bag. And that way you have like treats throughout the day.
Yes. Tip number 4
is the horses. Like whenever you're planning your trip, make sure you schedule doing one of the wild horse tours.
I've never seen the horses.
I promise you, it is the #1 thing you will walk away from thinking it is the greatest experience that you could have possibly had.
Yeah.
It does not disappoint. I mean, I guess it would if you didn't see any horses, but as long as you get to see the horses, it is one of the most incredible experiences. So do not skip out on that when planning your trip.
All right, so tip number 5 is the ocean water is cold. Now I have gone, and it was right around the middle of winter, and then it was kind of springtime, so obviously I wouldn't go in the water then, but I've heard this from others.
But I went at the very end of July when it should have been warm, and that water was cold. It's not like normal, like Myrtle Beach water or something like that. Like this water was cold.
Yes.
Like, so
be prepared.
Yeah, don't think it's gonna be warm.
Yeah. All right, so tip number 6, and this is just if you're planning like a family reunion or something like that, I've never seen bigger rental homes than what they have at the Outer Banks. It's like renting a small hotel.
Yeah, they're like you can like several, like
we're
10, 15 people.
Yeah, and we're talking about 10, 12 room homes. And when I looked last time, or one of the times I was there, I mean, you're talking about $6,000 to $10,000 a week for renting these places. They were huge. So if you're planning, a great place for a family reunion for sure. Yeah, they got homes for huge families. So check them out. The prices are way up there, but man, it'd be cool to stay somewhere.
You're splitting it with everybody, it kind of balances out too.
Yeah,
so there's that.
Okay, so really, of all the trips I've been on, you and I have been on, there ain't much that compares to the Outer Banks.
It is such a unique and cool experience, just in and of itself. It's like nothing I've ever been to.
As long as the weather's good, you are not going to be disappointed. It is a great place, especially for families. It's a great place to go. There's so much history, just so much nature to see. It is incredible. It
really, I mean, like I said before, like I've been plenty of places. Him and I have been plenty of places, and when I think about and
most of it's free too.
Yeah, which is a huge perk.
I mean, honestly, it's going to cost some money just to find a place to stay, especially in the summertime. It's much cheaper, obviously, in the fall and in springtime. But yeah. Yeah, no. If you can get yourself out there, we just highly recommend it. Yeah. All right. If you stay tuned this long, awesome. Thank you. If you haven't clicked the like and subscribe button, if you're not a subscriber yet, we'd really appreciate it. And stay tuned because we've got some really big travels coming, long as everything goes away. Yeah. And everybody stays well. Everyone stays well. Bye, everyone.